Welcome to Ladies Group Chat, where celebrity business drama and internet chaos get the group text treatment. A celebrity name can sell the launch, but it can't save a bad business. Also, if your workout studio says you basically can't teach cardio anywhere else, that's a little deranged. The celebrity brand graveyard is getting crowded, and honestly, it keeps proving the same point. Fame gets attention, not product market fit. Alex Cooper's unwell drink reportedly flamed out after about a year, even with all that hype and a reported $500 million valuation floating around it. Lionel Messi had a hydration drink with real distribution muscle launched in 2024, gone by January 2026. So no Target shelves and a famous face are not personality transplant for a weak business. Then you look at Shay Mitchell with Bayas, and that story makes way more sense. She pushed that brand for years, stayed consistent, picked a category that fit her, and it sold to Samsonite in a deal valuing it at about $210 million. The funny part is luggage is not even the sexiest category, but that's the lesson. A boring, durable business with actual operations will beat a splashy vanity launch every time. The darker version of this is when a company isn't just struggling, it's allegedly juicing the numbers. Phia, the startup from Phoebe Gates and Sophia Kiani, is accused of cookie stuffing, which basically means affiliate commissions may have been claimed for purchases the extension or links didn't really cause. If that was a glitch, okay, ugly but fixable. If internal messages really show they knew for 7 months, that stops sounding like a bug and starts sounding like a choice. And that's why investors care so much. Because if partners and backers were evaluating growth off bad attribution, they weren't looking at a real business, they were looking at a costume. This keeps coming up in the creator economy too. People can smell when someone is lending a name versus actually building something. Love selling works because it's messy and human. There was that 3.5-hour vintage bag sale example where the spontaneity and pressure made mistakes more likely, but that same chaos is what makes people buy. But reputations harden fast online. If you build your channel on leaks, gossip, and tabloid energy, you may get millions of views and still lose the chance to ever be taken seriously again. The family behind Wildflower cases is the opposite story. Miley Cyrus gave them that giant early boost, but the reason it became a real company is because the family went completely all in, sold the house, moved in with grandparents, and actually executed. Reality dating shows keep asking people to do emotionally insane things and then act shocked when everybody leaves confused and guilty. The ethical tension is real. If you're in a romantic experiment built on radical transparency, hiding something major like a sexual encounter doesn't just stay private, it changes what other people think they're consenting to emotionally. Harry Jowsey talking about secret marriages and not even being able to get coffee without risking spoilers is also such a bizarre side effect of these shows. Imagine being newly married and your biggest enemy is a gossip account with a zoom lens. He also talked about grief after his father's death, therapy twice a week, reading about self-sabotage, and trying to actually rebuild himself. That's the part I find interesting, because sometimes the most unserious TV produces the most serious personal fallout. Now to fitness, where Barry's reportedly rolled out a nationwide non-compete that sounds wildly broad. We're talking restrictions on teaching, running, cycling, rowing, HIIT, boxing, CrossFit, boot camps, circuit training, and even private clients. At that point, you're not protecting a brand, you're trying to copyright sweating. And this hits harder because instructors in expensive cities are not exactly sitting on yacht money. If you're making around 70 to 80 grand and your studio footprint is still relatively small, telling people they can't earn elsewhere feels brutal. A narrow restriction for a heavily marketed star instructor is one thing. A blanket rule for everybody just screams investor-friendly, worker-hostile, and I would be shocked if the backlash doesn't force some kind of retreat. Also, drone wedding photos are a special kind of creepy. A long lens is invasive, but a drone literally flies into your space. The violation feels different because it is different. The legal part is maddening too. The drone operator may have crossed a line, but a publisher can sometimes dodge liability by saying they didn't know the image was captured illegally. So the people whose privacy got blown up are left trying to track down random operators one by one, which is expensive, exhausting, and perfect for an attention economy built on making bad behavior profitable. That same economy rewards cruelty dressed up as commentary. If someone hates a bride's dress, maybe that thought can simply die in the privacy of your own home. Not every aesthetic choice is a public referendum. Some of this stuff is just people using a wedding day as content bait because humiliation travels faster than taste. Meanwhile, in modern dating, apparently the line between healthy curiosity and FBI-level research is fully gone. Finsters, tagged photo investigations, tour schedule cross-checking, everybody's doing reconnaissance now. Honestly, that's less shocking than the fact that some disaster dates can still turn into chemistry. If somebody shows up late, forgets their wallet, and gets their car towed, and you're both still laughing, that may be either romance or a stress test. The beauty advice buried in all this was refreshingly simple. Cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen, done. If you're skipping SPF, the 19-step routine is just performance art. For acne or anti-aging retinoids still have the strongest receipts. Go pea-sized, don't attack your face with 5 other actives, and if your skin barrier gets angry, back off for a week or 2 and return to the basics. Hair loss advice was also very practical. Hormones, stress, illness, childbirth, breakups, even GLP-1-related calorie restriction can trigger shedding months later, so the panic often shows up way after the cause. Minoxidil can help, but it takes patience. And yes, sometimes things look worse before they look better, which is rude, but at least it's a known kind of rude. One last petty but valid complaint: people are so tired of platforms changing little visual things while leaving the actual broken stuff broken. A wordmark tweak on Instagram should not create that much emotion, and yet it does because users read it as a symbol. You had time for this, but not for the feed, moderation, or the million other things people actually ask for. It's not about the font, it's about the accumulated feeling that the app is redecorating while the plumbing leaks. That's it for today's ladies group chat. Protect your skin barrier, your privacy, and maybe your affiliate data too. This episode was generated by Podkey. Create your own at podkey.fm.